Good morning and welcome back to a new video. I'm gonna paint my table. So finally I'm gonna paint my table. I figured out what I want to do with it for the time being until I can really elevate it to what I really want, but I don't have the money to just go out and spend it just for a table. So I will be trying to hide imperfections that this table has. And real quick, I'm just gonna turn you guys around if you're new here so you can see my table, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is what I mean by imperfections. So I got this table a long time ago for free. I talked about it in a video. Had it for a long time now. I don't know when I got it exactly. I could go back and look, but the leaf is like perfect compared to the rest of the table. I love this table because the number one thing about it is it's really, really high. It comes to my waist, and it has a drawer on each side. Well, this side and the other side. So two sides, it has a drawer. Obviously, you can't put a drawer on the other side because of the leaf. But I love the legs and everything. But when I first got this table, I really liked how it was wood, and I liked the color of the wood a little bit, but I have tried to sand the table down, and underneath, well, for one, it was taking too long. And I don't care how long something takes. I will sand and sand and sand, but it was taking just way too much time. And to me, it ended up being this is not going to work. I have a baby, I can't be doing this. So eventually I will be putting wood on top of it, cutting it to fit, and doing the tabletop how I want it to look, how I was trying to get it to look, but I can't do it because way underneath, it's not really veneer, but I was actually trying to do something. I'll turn you around and show you what I was trying to do, and I kind of messed it up a little bit, so hopefully this will fix it for the time being until I can get the wood to cover it up, which by that time you won't even notice it. So before I thought about putting the wood on top, I was going to chisel the top to kind of look like it's more pieces of wood. So I was going to have each section look like it has two. And after I actually started chiseling this, I was like, maybe it should have had three, but then that'd be kind of too small for my liking. So I wanted to have big boards eventually that go across, and then I can just finish them how I want. And then, so before I did all that, when the leaf was out, clearly, I took a paint and just lightly kind of rubbed it on just to kind of see what it would look like. And the paint I used was antique white, the same one I used to kind of distress my kitchen cabinet doors. But anyways, it is looking a little purple, so I'm not liking that. But when I just kind of wiped it down, because you do want to clean it before you paint, it does wipe off, and I kind of like that. But honestly, I think I've come to a conclusion. So in one of my old videos, I painted this section white. It was a bright white. It's the same color as my trim. But the other day I painted it with agreeable gray, which is actually on my walls in my home. And it looks a little bit different on the table. Plus over here, you can't really tell because the lighting is really all not that great. So my idea for this table is I am going to paint the whole dang thing agreeable gray. And depending on what that looks like when I'm done, I don't know if I'll do it anywhere else but the legs. I might do a little bit of distressing maybe on the edges. I'm not sure, because I might really like it just like that, with the paint just on the legs. But I really do think it'll kind of give it a little pop, the detailing in the legs. I think it'll really bring it out, the little rings here and everything. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And yeah, so I'm gonna get into it. I'm even going to actually paint the whole top. I'm not going to distress the top at all. And eventually I will do like clear coat over everything. After I figure out if I want to distress or not, I will clear coat it. And then that's just how the table is going to be until I can do the top that I want. But another reason for doing it is not because I just want to paint the table. I was kind of looking at this room. This is my dining room. And okay, let me just really like step back. Hold on a second. Okay, every light in the house is on, still dark in here. But anyways, so our dining room, as you can tell, is just like one long room. It's just been driving me crazy ever since I started my channel. You guys can go back and watch videos. I've always complained about it. Didn't know where to put things, and realistically, anyone else would have gotten a smaller table or at least a round table to kind of like even out all the boxiness. You got a door here, door there, everything's square. You got the squares in the barn door, you got the squares in the window. That's why the mirror really kind of, and then the fish tank's a rectangle. Like you just have like everything is squared. It would look better with a round table. I know that because I've had one before and it just looked a lot better. But I love the height of this table, and when it's big like this, it's really comfortable to sit at, and everyone has their elbow room. And anyways, so I'm only going to be doing the table in this video, but eventually I will get to the chairs. I think for the island, since the island is a bright white, I'll do the chairs a bright white as well. 2 of them anyways. I'm not sure about that though, because I'm not into the white chairs. The only like furniture that's actually painted white in my whole home is the island. The kitchen definitely is not. A long time ago, I told my husband I wanted a beam here. Let me kind of go into the living room to show you like why. So going down that way, that's the hall and everything. And I love the character in my home with the arches and the niche in the wall and all the cutout kind of designs. But there's too much of the angled top going on. So at first I was like, well, it would be smart to do that kind of shape, but I'm not going to continue that because I just think a big arch with that shape would just not really go well, even though I already have it. But if I did that, another plan I want to do is I'm thinking of doing an arch at the beginning of the hallway too, but not looking like this, to kind of break up this kind of like angled top. That was another project that I got. So I have materials for those projects in the garage. I know I have enough to do the one over here, but I don't know if after I do that, if I'll have enough left over for the hallway. But anyways, so originally, let me go back to what I was saying. I wanted an arch right here, and just little, nothing like, not an actual like walled arch, because that would be way too much. The space is already small. And then our giant couch, the way I have it split up, that there's always something else there. So like really it would be like way too small. But the thing is I can't do that because there is imperfections in our home. But see that line that basically goes, so let me follow it. And as y'all can see, it goes about 5 inches or so away from the wall. Now, there's ways to go around that. I could have like come to here and just kind of like turned it a little bit so it goes to that corner. But in order to get an actual like arch look, I would have to go down more. And my little me, I have these pots and pan walls, which this wall, I love this wall, but the bars, I actually, I put joint compound over the parts where you would take the screws out. But I love this wall and I don't regret it because that's one of the most favorite things in my house. So then I was just like, I looked and tried to figure out all the ways possible to try to do an arch here, and it's just not going to work. then my second thought was, well, maybe I'll just do one in the hall, you know. And the problem with that is if I only did one here, or if I did one over here and that's it, it's like you have this thing, you have that thing, then you'd have a little arch, and then you have this, and it's just like kind of too crazy. But if I did one there or left it alone, but also had one, let me go all the way over here, but also had one there to kind of separate this like just really, really long room, I think then it would kind of tie in, because standing here, you would be able to see the arch beginning in the hall. Or I don't even have to do an arch in the hall. That one's kind of like, I'm not sure about that. But I do think, for a couple of reasons, I'm Italian. And I love the Tuscan, the Mediterranean style, Spanish style homes. That is just me. That speaks to my heart, and it always has. And that's one of the things I loved about this home, is that it had that kind of style going on. Even though they're not rounded, it still has that kind of style, like especially the wall niche. That's a big thing in those homes. But what was the other thing? Oh, before I considered doing it there, I thought about somehow going from this wall and going over, but it wouldn't work. I think it goes, so it would go from there and kind of, I don't remember what it was. It would go to like the very edge of the cabinet. So it would just be really weird. Plus, I think since the kitchen is so small, it would just look awkward. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would see a cabinet hidden behind it. It's just odd. So the only way I can really kind of pull that off is, don't mind the hole in the wall. I was trying to fix some imperfections and I didn't finish the project. But anyways, is from the edge of this wall, I would start it here. I am not going to go all the way down, which I do think would be really pretty. I love the look of like an actual, like it looks like a full wall arch, but realistically, we have a baby. And if you look at the way I keep rearranging my home, even if this was out of the way, there's always going to be something here. And I know I don't have to put something there, but living here and with my experience, and there's always something that ends up here. So it would be like just weird, like something going all the way up. And then the other reason for that is the further out it comes, the more you have to watch out, for a wall. And then over here, we put the high chair, and we don't have to do that, but the same thing. It would cut off the window and it would just look really weird in my opinion. And it would keep the light from going over there even more than it already would. So my idea is it's going to come somewhere like maybe here, somewhere in this area, and it's going to go up. And I don't know if I'm going to like kind of just have it hit the ceiling and just have a space and then another one go down, just to create a little bit of separation. It's kind of like an illusion to the eye, obviously, because it doesn't really separate the rooms. But let me see. But if it was like that, if you're standing over here by the back, by the French doors, I don't know. I just feel like it would just add just a little, that little bit of what this home needs. So that was one of the projects that I wanted to do. Well, technically two, because I want two arches. One was big and one was smaller. So I've had this in my garage for a while, but I tried to cut it out of the video where I was cutting boards and stuff for the trimming out the window. But I've had this ever since, I think, before Julian's bedroom makeover. So the last bedroom makeover or somewhere around that time. But I decided I'm going to be using this. It's like hardboard. I don't know. So I don't know if that will be enough, considering I don't know exactly how big or where I want to start. The sides going up, I don't know if I'm going to have enough for both the arches, and I'm not quite sure if I want to do both of the arches. And then when I was talking about a piece of wood, no, it's kind of hard to tell, but when I was saying like I had to go pick my own piece of wood and all that, I picked this one with the live edge showing. And my plan with that was I was going to cut it up into however many pieces I could get. And I was thinking of having just beams, like not doing the faux beams, but literally just taking that wood long ways like this, not upright like how people usually do. Usually it's thicker if they do it that way, but just flat. And I was going to put it on the ceiling in my hallway after, only if I did the arch in the hallway, because then it would just look funny with just beams. But the problem with adding beams there is you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to be, you have to beam out the ceilings all over. But I thought maybe if I just separated it with the arch in the hall, maybe it would be fine. I don't know. And then I was thinking, well, if I added beams there, then maybe the only other place I could add beams, because I think it'd be funny adding beams from the dining room all the way to the kitchen. It would look good until you get to the point where you're like, okay, are they going to go long ways from the kitchen to the dining room, or are they going to go across, which across makes more sense. But if they do go across, there's no separation between that area and the living room, and it would just look funny unless I took another beam. You know what I mean? It's just like kind of like one thing leads to another, and I don't have money like that. I really don't. And I like doing projects that are like budget friendly. For one, I feel like I'm forced to, but it gives you guys ideas and like shows you like you can do it too. So the only way I would do beams anywhere else in the house is from the arch that is in the dining room over to the dining room. So just the actual dining room would have beams, but I'm not even sure if I want to do that. So I'm kind of playing with ideas, but I do know I want the big beam at least, because if I were to do only like not beam, arch, if I did only an arch in the hallway, it would look just like too many arches going on in that section like I showed you. But if I were to do a big arch in that bigger space, I think it would look a lot better. And then from there on out, I can actually visualize and see in real life, like, what would work better, and I can like make better decisions. But for today, gosh dang, that's bright. For today, I'm going to stick with the table idea because I'm tired of looking at it. Oh, that's what I was going to say too. Hold on, bring you back inside. Okay, so another reason why I want to paint the table is it's so big. And I think the reason why is, the reason why I think this is because the fact that the table is so big, it's just too much dark woods going on, which I like wood. I really do. Like that thing back there, I'm not touching that. That is beautiful. I'm leaving it alone. There's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful, gorgeous. I did try to add more stain to the blotchy parts on my barn door yesterday. So it's looking a little shiny over there, but I do need to add more, as you can tell. But the table, it was just kind of like, and eventually I'll be updating this little bench as well. So I thought like the barn door will be more of a statement piece. I don't even actually like how this barn door is, like the style of it. I like how it has glass. That's cool. And I like how you can't really see through it, but I don't care for like the straight lines across. But we got that from my husband's brother. So we're keeping it for now. I mean, who knows, but down the road, you never know. So because the barn door is dark, you have that thing, which has been there so long, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it'll be nicer and kind of like make the room look bigger, not so kind of like closed in. I feel like that's my problem. I feel like the table is just drawing so much attention to it that it's closing it in because it's a big dark blob, especially when all the chairs are around it. It just bugs me. It's like too much dark going on. So that's why. But after I add the wood one day, I think it'll kind of like tone everything out, and I think it'll look good. But because I'm so in love with this, and I think I just did my wall niche with this little design or technique that I do also, I think I'm just going to do this on probably just that part. I might make it go here, but then if I bring it here, I'm not going to be having it go around the window. And, you know, I don't want to go crazy with it, but I do want something on that part because that is supposed to be agreeable gray. Granted, I had it mixed to agreeable gray. The wall is dirty, by the way, but to me, it is just not pretty. It kind of, like against the cabinets, it doesn't look right, and it's all the shadows from the cabinets. But all day long, as much as the light comes in and out, like it still kind of looks like just blah, you know what I mean? So I would be taking these all out. So you're not gonna have that orangey wood look anymore. Like I'm taking all of them out. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be doing with this section. And I'm gonna tone down that window frame and the trim one day too. But that is my plan for the kitchen one day, but I'm not really worried about that. And I'm not really worried about the beam situation right now because I need a lot more time to actually get that done because I have a little baby girl who's almost 1.5, and I have 2 teenage sons if you're new here. One will be 20 this year and one is going to be 15. But anyways, enough about all the home projects and all that stuff. I'm going to get into painting this table. I'm honestly super nervous because realistically, like I was going to say, I'm nervous because once you paint it, you can't go back to the wood. But that's not true. But it just takes a lot of work to get back to the wood. But we're going to be in this home for a while. I don't think we're going to be moving anytime soon. I don't know if this is like our forever home or not. But for as long as we're here, we're going to be using this table because I can't find a round one that's tall enough and big enough that I like right now. So I'm just trying to make things just look bigger and not so crowded. And I think it'll make the dining room just look a lot better because out of all of the rooms in the house, this one drives me insane. Because I made a video like a year or two ago talking about like I don't even know how to I don't know what the video was about, but it said like New Year's resolutions on it, I think. So you can go back and find it. I think it's a year ago. It might be 2 years ago at this point. I do know it was after my brother had passed, and I was just not really the happiest. So I was really trying to focus on myself and doing what I love. And I mentioned that I'm not actually crazy about the farmhouse style. If it's cute, but it's not true to me. I like some things here and there. So like my home might look a little farmhouse here and there, but ultimately I'm Italian and I love the Mediterranean, the Italian, and the Spanish style, like I just said earlier. Like I would not be putting beams in a home if I didn't truly love them, because that's ridiculous. Like why would I do that if I really didn't like it? You know what I mean? But and it's not really like it's trending right now, in my opinion. But even if it was, I would still do it because that is true to me, you know. But anyways, let's get into painting this table, you know, and I'm scared, but I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to roll the top. Actually, I'm going to start on the legs and stuff because I don't know when my daughter's going to wake up and I don't want her over here touching everything. And we don't have our gate up anymore, because they took it down, our baby gates, because I feel like she should be able to roam around. So now I have to hurry. So let's get into it. kind of freaking out. What did I do? Not what did I do. I mean, I like it. I just feel like my anxiety. I'm nervous. But you can see the back leg compared to the front leg. I like this much better. I like, well, it's kind of purple, but I really like the legs and I feel like it makes them pop. But I know it's kind of hard to like the painted version when you see the wood back there. But when everything's all said and done, I think you guys will really like it, especially when I finally do the top, which I will be sharing that too in a separate video, because I don't have money to just go around and like, I was lucky that I got the material I did for the arches, but in the joint compound that I got and stuff, and the paint for the bedrooms and all that. But I would have done this a long time ago, but my boys' rooms really needed a desperate makeover. And their bathroom didn't really need anything. Really what it needed was to be caulked, because all the caulk around the sink and everything was bad. But I did the bathroom makeover too, and I'm not sorry about it. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I think it came out really cute. And the bathroom kind of is more farmhouse style. Well, I don't know. I feel like the board and batten walls kind of give that feeling, but I don't care what style is what. All I know is like, I'm just gonna do what I think is cute in each space. And the problem with that is you can't do, okay, you can do whatever you want, but I'm at the point where I'm trying to do things to make the whatever space it is, I will do anything I can to make it seem bigger. Because my house is like 1,200 square feet. This room does look really big, but that table is like really kind of making it look a lot smaller. So that's why I went light and bright with the wainscoting, and I'm gonna do the table. I didn't want the table bright white. I thought I did, and then I was like, now I'm going crazy again like I did before, painting everything white in my home, which isn't even like my style. It would have brightened up my home, and I was going for that style a long time ago, just like really white everywhere, the walls, everything. But it was like, it gave off like a cold kind of feeling, like my home didn't feel warm and inviting like at all. But I'm gonna actually finish the other two legs and the sides off camera, and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so my daughter woke up. I did the first coat. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like right now. I had to kind of go around and pick off some things because so after my bathroom makeover, I didn't like clean out the paint roller or anything because I don't know why. I covered it all up in a baggie and stuff, and it had like little chunks of paint or whatever in it. So I tried to pick all those out. I'm going to put her down for a second. And I wanted to mention also the reason why I used the textured kind of roller for like walls is because I was trying to fill as much of the cut that I have made as possible. I mean, it's not really going to do anything. It actually smoothed out more than I thought it would, so I might just continue to use the roller until I get enough paint on it to where it looks kind of okay. Like, you're gonna see the cut no matter what, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you're gonna see imperfections anyways, because this table, you've seen it. I mean, I don't even need to explain, but I was like thinking, no, the only thing I don't have wood filler. I have a little bit of joint compound, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna paint as many coats as I can on here. I'm not gonna record any of that. I'm just kind of showing you guys what it looks like after the first coat. Jalen Ray, woman. Oh my goodness, where'd it go? No, baby. Hold on, I gotta wash your hands. Okay, so that girl in the dog food and dog bowl, or dog food and dog water dish. Ow, girl, you're pulling mommy's hair. But there is a table. Just one coat. I did that little lip under there, and I also, excuse me, Jack. Gosh, I also did the lip under there too. Do you need to go potty? Okay, hold on. It's starting to rain. So he doesn't care though. He's a husky. But anyway, so that is just one coat. And there isn't much that I'm gonna do to fix that part right there. Oh, leave that alone. Leave that alone, baby. Come on. So I'm gonna actually go lay her down for a nap. Come on, Jalen. Come on, baby. Mommy needs her slippers. My goodness. Okay, come on, Jalen. Jay, come here, baby. Come here, baby. But I wanted to kind of show you guys. It just like, it looks weird to me because I'm not used to it. But, oh my gosh, there's like a rock in my shoe. Come on. Okay. But already you can kind of see, I mean, it's really hard to get the whole effect. Like, you won't understand. It may look bad, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, until like all the chairs are done and like the wood top is eventually done and stuff like that. But I think already it makes such, it just looks bigger. Not the table, but the room. I feel like it looks bigger over there. I really kind of wish we did have like a regular door over there, but it's okay. Part of the reason is because then I could hang stuff that I want to. Jalen Ray, girl, oh my goodness. So, but I want to go lay her down. I gotta wipe her hands real quick. Oh my gosh, you guys. Is it nap time? Yeah. It is time for her nap. So I'm going to lay her down and then I will finish the second coat and then I'll pick this camera back up. Goodness. She needs a nap though. So bad. I got Bluey on. Bluey. Oh my goodness. I got a cartoon Bluey on for her. Okay. So, did I mention that my daughter was asleep earlier and I fed her and everything? Also, I didn't just like get her up and put her back down. But anyways, we're currently in my bathroom. I was trying to find my other earring. I was wearing like two in one ear and one in the other because I have two holes in one and one ripped out of the other like years and years ago, but couldn't find the earring. But while we're in here, I want to show you guys, if you're new here, I just redid my bathroom. I put in like a board and batten kind of style wall. I don't know exactly if you want to call it that. I do need to like sand this bowed board out a little bit and then I will put caulk there to kind of like make it look like it's not bowed. But yeah, I really like it. I wanted to show it. That's the only reason. Okay, so I put another coat on the table. I'm going to show you that real quick. Okay. Well, that didn't really do anything, huh? There is the second coat. It's not dry yet, but it's almost dry. And yeah, I'm painting the floor, but you know what? I feel like it's easier to scrape it up, move the table, scrape up the paint than it is to like set out all the plastic and all that. But I did try to actually add caulk in there and it would have put joint compound, but it's not bad. I'm just not worried about that little part right there. But that is the table color. I don't know, it's looking okay with two coats, but it definitely does need another because you can see like when all that dries. And yeah, if I distress it, but like I don't see like how right here would actually be naturally worn off, you know what I mean? So anyways, but that is the color. It looks a lot brighter than last time in the light, obviously, because over here you can't really tell, but let me stand way far back. I'm trying to stand as far back as I can because there's chairs in the kitchen and I don't know. See what I mean? It doesn't look so dark over there now. I like it. I'm wondering what it will finally look like. When I'm done with the chairs, it'll probably look like a lot better. only thing I'm worried about is like the upholstery on the chairs, like the cushion. I don't know, it should look fine. It's pulling more tan, like it is tan, but it's pulling more like brown. It's gonna look darker against dark. That's just how colors work. So against that, it might look, a lot lighter. It might pull out the lighter fibers from it. Kind of like our couch. Our couch is gray, right? It looks gray. But if you actually get close, there is actual, there's beige. It's beige and gray. So I guess it's grayish. I don't know. But if I were to get a rug that had browns in it, I don't know. It depends. It goes and it doesn't go with some stuff, depending on what you use around it. Good morning. It's a new day. So I actually semi-finished the table. I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like and kind of explain what I did because it took way too long to record it. Okay, so from far away, it kind of looks the same because I didn't want it to stand out too much. I took about a 60 grit sandpaper and I was literally walking around the table, rubbing up against it where I would have and tried to wear off spots that would have been like that originally. So I just kind of and if you have a chair here, you could be pulling this. So I'm trying to figure out places where people would rub up against. So that's what I tried to distress, but it looks lighter because I actually went over it again with paint because it just was not looking right. So now it looks like a touched up, worn off spot that is worn off again, which I actually kind of like that. It's a little faded. So I did that. But before I went over it with the paint, I had actually smoothed it out with a 120 grit, or no, 220, sorry. But yeah, I did the edges and stuff, of course. And my husband actually likes it with the chairs like this. I don't. But anyways, try to get closer. Okay. I rubbed it off on the top of the table as well on the edges all the way around. And just in the spots where people would because this is a huge table, and if you were leaning above, reaching, to get something in the center, because we all have to do that. And sometimes we're pass that, can you pass the salt or whatever it is? And you still can't pass it because it's so big. But that is what it's looking like. And what else was I going to say? I have not done the clear coats on the top yet. I did 3 layers of paint before I started sanding anything. But I'm not going to do it in this video. I'll just do it on my own time. I just want to get this video out for you guys and kind of give you ideas, I guess, of how to kind of distress it. Normally I get a wet rag, but I wanted to try the sandpaper thing. I've done it before, I've sanded stuff, but I don't remember ever distressing with sandpaper. And then going over it again with the paint, I actually like it because it's still light and it doesn't look blotchy. And it's simple. It's realistic. And I don't know. Let me push that chair in and back up a little bit. I don't know. I think it definitely makes the dining room look brighter. I'm going to turn off the light though. I don't know. I really like it. I can see what he means with the chairs because the chairs go with the, obviously they match the wood, the barn door and stuff like that. Oh, also, I thought of a couple more things that I want to do. So how I was talking about I don't care for how it's the straight lines and everything's too boxy over here. In this whole area over here. I'm gonna do a makeover on this. So there are ways and things that you can put in the inside to kind of change the shape a little bit. So I will be doing that at some point when I figure out exactly what design I want to do. But I think that'll be really fun. So I don't know. I don't even know. I really like it. And then one way in the future project that I want to do in the kitchen is I would love to actually take the cabinets off that are all around the stove, and I want like a huge range hood, like the Italian style, and I would love to have like tile and stuff maybe eventually, but for now I'm just gonna do like the joint compound kind of like little technique that I did on my pot and pan wall. So but I think that'll be really cool. Yeah, and there's a couple other things, but I don't want to talk about everything all at once, but just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going to be on this channel at some point, hopefully sooner than later. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you watched until the end, don't forget to leave a heart emoji down in the comments below. And I will see you in my next one. Bye. Can you feel it, honey?